All right, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Yeah, I know it's bright and early. Hey, Dennis and Rodney are not feeling well, so Lance Cadena said, "Hey, you ought to go live." Well, I just got up and got some coffee going. So, hey, how's everybody doing this morning? Yeah, I want to wish them well. I didn't see Rodney's. I'm not sure if they have a bug or something. I know I see Randy in here said. He wasn't feeling well. What Randy's in here, Giggle, TJ's in here, Dusty, Lance, Steve. Who else? Warren. Good morning. Is Nick in here? I thought I saw Nick. FTFO, yeah. Rob, Mr. Rob Kamada. What's up, Rob? Rob, hop in here. B-Rad, what's up? Anybody want to jump in? You're welcome to. Not gonna stay on too long. Didn't really plan on going live this morning. But those guys are not feeling good. Let me turn off this ceiling fan here. Gonna be 84 degrees today over here. So wow, crazy weather. I'm getting. Lance said he's just getting over the crud. Yeah, I had a rough. Yeah, everybody, a lot of people. Not everybody, but I know. I have seen it going around. So how's everybody doing this morning? Or this weekend? What you got? You gonna be flying? Captain Joe and I went flying. When did we go? Thursday. He actually went yesterday. Some Karen called the park rangers on him. So if he pops in, I'll let him tell the story. It all ended up good though. He wasn't doing anything wrong. So anyway, yeah, I think that's the first Karen that Joe's really had a problem with where we fly. 84, that's nice. It's 28 here in Maryland. Yeah, it's what is it? It's actually 69 degrees this morning already. So Rob, what's up? Brad. Talked to Brad yesterday on the phone a few minutes, actually. was telling them about my new bamboo printer. I really like that thing. I mean, it seems to be it's an easy setup. It looks like the print quality is real nice. So yeah. What else? You loving that new? Yeah, Brad, I actually printed some TPU. It looks like it did really good. One of the things it made, I don't know if it's just a good. It looked about the same quality as my Anchor Mate, but the other things I just printed some really stuff I don't need. Just trying to test it out for the Mario 5. Some new little landing pads for the arms, and those look much better quality than I had printed before. Russell, Glenn, welcome in. Jerry Bauer, good morning. So yeah, I'm gonna just print some more of that today while I got the TPU in it. Try some different things. I actually printed these little bumper guards for the Neo, and man, they come out really neat. But they kind of, I didn't really realize how they went on. You got to stick this little thing in between a bumper pad, which is kind of stupid to me. But the quality of the print is what I was more worried about. You can see, I mean, it looks really nice, very clean. So, I mean, he's really about useless the way they go on. Rob, you got questions about okay, shoot. Well, no, don't shoot. Can't say that on them. If I can't answer, Brad would. Yeah. Oh yeah, love that Neo. Yeah, I chased Captain Joe. I need to try bumper guards for the Vita 2. Have yet to try printing with TPU. Yeah, Nick, it's I mean, I will say I've always printed it. These look very clean though. I mean, it almost looks like something you would order. I hate to say it. Well, my other ones before was, I don't know, just looks. I don't know who designed these. You got to actually stick these little things that stick out in between the guards. You got to kind of use your finger to. But it's kind of stupid to me. But I don't know. I'm sure they make different ones. I just saw these and printed them. Like I said, I was more worried about the quality than I was really using them. I mean, I don't know. The Neo is so light. I don't even know if you could hurt it when you bump into the thing. John Flynn, welcome in. Hey, that rhymes, huh? John Flynn, welcome in. There's this David Lorenzo. What's up, Dave? Hadn't seen you in a while. B Rad River. I have two with the goggles. Let's see, B Rad. I'm going back. Did RP guy welcome in? Did Rob ask his questions? No, Rob ain't asked yet. Go Eagles. Uh-oh. Better not let Joe Fotolito see that. Nah, I got to pull for the Eagles. We have, Devontae Smith is from here, Heisman Trophy winner. And got to pull for Devontae. He does a lot of stuff for the community. Although, personally, I'm going to pull for Philadelphia, but I just think Kansas City's going to win. That's just me. I don't know. It ought to be a good game now. Bet the over or under, something like that. Don't bet on the team. I made a little bet actually on Devontae on FanDuel about yardage, 100 yards or more if he receives. Odds are pretty good. So there's a lot of little props you can make. Might bet on a coin flip. And it's 50-50, truly 50-50, right? I would bet tails. Use some type of CAD program, create models and edit them. I use a website called Tinkercad. I didn't see a question. What did he ask, Brian? Anybody wants to pop in, you are welcome to. I would take song requests, but y'all really don't want to hear me sing. Woo! Thank God somebody came in.
It's you're the bottom of the barrel.
Man, I tell you. Now, I didn't see. I did. Well, I heard my little messenger go off, and it was Lance said that Dennis and Rodney wasn't going on, and so matter of fact, I had just picked my phone up to see if Dennis was on, and that I got that message from Lance. So
Yeah.
I wasn't doing too much. It's early, and so yeah, John. These things printed really neat, man. But they go on kind of stupid. I
Is
don't know how
that
these.
for the Neo?
Yeah, this is for the Neo, but
Okay.
these little, I guess I don't know what you call them, little tits or whatever to stick out. But this is supposed to go in between the you actually pull the bumper guard out, but it's kind of stupid design to go on. But I was more worried about the quality
Uh-huh.
of the print because I wanted to see how the TPU did. But they're very, very clean.
Looks good.
Yeah, so I was kind of excited about that because I did print some new feet or little bumper guards, landing pads for the Mario 5, and those came out really nice. And I did print a antenna for the Mario 5, no, for the Volator, and it was still kind of thin, but I think it's the print that I have, even though it comes from Volador. But and then I printed some little landing pads for the Volador, and those look almost like the ones we bought. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
Good.
so I think the print quality is better at least. And you
Yeah.
got TPU is a little funny, you know.
Oh, yeah. A lot of it, like you said, depends on the design of the file you have too. It can make a big
Yeah,
difference.
but these came out really, really clean. I
Yeah, it
just
look good.
I didn't really look at how you put them on, but it's kind of like you have to stick this little thing right here between the bumper guards, which is kind of stupid. So,
Right. Right.
but I'm sure they make a ton of them, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yep. There's probably more coming every day too.
Yeah, you actually, there's one that Joe and I printed for the Avada, well, the original Avada. You could print them out of PLA, and they actually look good now. And they snapped on real good, but I guess they would. I don't know. They might. I guess they would probably break, of course, but
Yeah. Yeah.
they look pretty good. I
Sacrificial.
know Brad actually. I talked to Brad yesterday on the phone. He printed something similar to this for the Neo for something they're doing because I think the guy has 4 different Neos and he wanted to distinguish the colors,
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I think he
Very
actually
cool.
printed them out of TPU, but because I mean the Neo is so light, I don't. I mean, I ain't saying you couldn't hurt it, but it just bounces off stuff.
Right. Yeah. Extra layer of protection, as they say. Never
Uh,
hurts. Never hurts.
but what bamboo? I got the bamboo A1, and John has the A1 Mini.
Right.
Uh,
How do
Ken
you like it so far?
Hopper.
Is it
Yeah, I
working
mean,
good?
you know what? It's very easy. I mean, I was kind of, I don't know, with my other printer, and John, that's the only one you ever had, but I always dreaded changing the color. So I would put a roll in and I print everything in the same color till that roll ran out.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
Yeah. Because it was kind of, you had to actually pull it out. I mean, it retracted it, but I don't know. This thing here is so easy to unload. Man, it was
They
a
make it
pleasure
easy.
changing it.
Yeah, they definitely make it easy. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, extrudes it, it cuts it. It's got the little cutter. I mean, it's pretty neat. And I did print the bin. Did you print the little bin for the poop?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. The poop bin. That was one of the first things I think I printed when I
Let's see. I printed
got it.
guards for my Neo with just PLA. It's easy to print, and if you crash and guard break. Yeah, I hear you. But these would this wouldn't work at all PLA because these things I didn't realize you'd have to stick. I mean, I got the Neo, and you had to actually pull out the little. But I don't know. I don't know who. Then the guy, said when I started reading after I printed, it was kind of one of his first designs, and I just kind of printed the first one I
First one you
saw,
came
I guess.
across. Right.
How
Yep.
long before bamboo is banned? I hope not. Well, they can ban it now. It'll work.
They do have those little cameras on there spying on you, so don't say
Yeah,
that
and that
so
might,
loud.
that's one thing. If you joined the forum, which I did on Facebook,
Hmm.
bamboo, and of course everybody bitches. The printer is so good, but the camera is so bad.
Right. Well, got to
But
find something to bitch about.
you can get a little Waze camera or any kind of little camera for 15, $20 and set it right there.
Well, the
Yeah,
camera that comes on mine is, I mean, it's terrible. It's You know, I mean, compared to the one you have, it's just kind of a,
Yeah.
it's like a, it's not even 720p, and you know, it's kind of a
Well, I
little
think the
gimmicky.
biggest thing you could see if it messed up, and
Right,
stop. I mean, I ain't worried about seeing the print. It's just, but that's
right.
more or less. I got home before from my other one. It didn't do it many times, but you get home and have that ball of spaghetti or whatever.
Oh yeah, yep.
Let's see. The camera on the A1 is horrible, but I use a TP link. Yeah, yeah. I got
Might
a
might be
little.
banned.
I don't even know what I ordered for my. Sometimes I hate to say it. I always for my old house, I had a camera that shot back at my garage,
Hmm.
and I always wanted to make sure my garage door was shut and all. I had it actually on a light pole out there, because I had about 8 or 10 cameras. But so I bought a little cheap Waze camera and I'd stick it on my workbench. It looks out the garage, so I know when my garage is shut.
Yep, that's
So,
smart.
and I get a little notification because Lainey, my granddaughter, come over here and grab the golf cart. She rides it for about an hour and a half, where one whole full battery gets about 25, 30 miles, and then she got to come charge it up again.
That's funny. She's
But
limited
no,
by
the
the
3D
battery.
printing is the 3D printing is fun. I mean, it's John. If you just saw, man, I printed the little statue of my granddaughter.
Oh, okay.
Joe was, and the ones Joe made were like probably about this tall.
Yeah.
You know, the one I made was almost life size. I didn't. It took 5 hours to print.
Holy cow! Oh, you're going through the filament then.
Yeah, I ordered
That's
some, but
cool.
it's fun.
Oh yeah, there's so much out there too. I mean, to download and print out, it's amazing the different things they come up with. So
Yeah, yeah, no, I know. You going to was it make what's the name of the studio that one? I'm not even make a world.
Maker World, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yep. They have a lot of good
So
stuff.
John, you doing any flying?
Just you know, I actually flew my Air 2S yesterday. Hadn't flown it in a while, and just took it out and flew it around a little bit. Didn't really, you know, just to fly it more than anything. And man, I just still love that camera on that bird. It really it just always impresses me, the quality I get in the video and the pictures. So I actually like the for photos, I like that better than I do my Air 3.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah, we flew. Captain Joe and I flew Thursday, and then he went back yesterday, and he called me last night. Said a Karen got on his ass, called the park rangers on him. So he was telling me the story. So
oh boy,
I hope he pop in. He'll tell it, I'm sure. But
yeah.
he didn't do anything wrong. It all ended good. The lady. I'm gonna give you two guesses, because I know the first one you're gonna say, but I'm gonna give you two guesses of where the lady was from.
I'm gonna say Narlands.
No,
No, boy, I don't know. Hammond,
you got the new part right.
the new part. New England. I don't
New
know.
New
New
Jersey.
Jersey. Oh boy.
So
Well,
where we fly at this other state park, not where we flew Thursday. They have I don't know. It's like an old house. I guess it was something to do with back in the day, and it's like I guess you can walk through it and all. It's never really been open since when we've been out there. But anyway, and they have some bathrooms that's kind of way back in the back, and they got a little playground. And the bathrooms you can actually walk through, and then they have some picnic tables. Big area to walk through. Bathrooms. I don't even know what a ladies' bathroom. I went one time, but to the other side, I guess the ladies must be in the back and the men's up front. But anyway, so Joe saw a lady, and he was flying all around a little playground, and the lady went to the bathroom, and he flew through the big opening, and I guess she heard it, and so she called the park rangers on Joe. So the rangers come out there, and Joe showed them, and well, they didn't really ask to see the video, and Joe. I mean, the guy said, "Well, unless he followed you in the bathroom with the drone, I mean, So,
oh
anyway, the
boy,
lady goes, "Y'all just all stick together," and got in the car, left, and her husband never said a word. Joe said,
that figures. Yeah, they're out there. Unfortunately, I've been
"Yeah,
lucky. I
I
haven't
don't
had
know.
too
Was
many
you out
problems.
there when the day the lady that Friday when we went?
No, No,
Okay,
that was a
yeah.
couple years ago at the meetup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we went the day before the South Florida meetup. Well, that Friday, and I don't know, Al Duran. Now, I don't know, and I ain't taking up for the lady, and I ain't taking up for Al, but the lady said Al buzzed her, and look, he might have been 100 feet away, 200 feet away, or 25 feet. Don't really know. But the lady came over there, and man, she started asking for people's names, and her husband was with her, and the guy never said one word the
Yeah.
whole time.
He's
So
like,
Barkley kind of intervened, and because the lady was like coughing real bad, and we thought she was like, we even walked up to her before she started chewing us out that she was like something was wrong with her. We
right.
offered her some water and all, and then she let into who was flying that drone, and so, but
Yeah.
she ended up just getting in the car. Brad, let's see. Brad says I sent you a Facebook. Oh, a tow hitch cover. Oh yeah, yeah. I have to check that out. Yeah, because I actually ordered one for and those I did see you can make those.
Yeah.
We figured out last night, Johnny, you guys don't like outsiders. Yeah, well, that's kind of what the lady said, Dustin. She told us, she told the
Yeah.
park rangers, y'all all stick together and got in a car. So,
Well, we
and,
do. We do stick together.
well, hey,
But
I don't.
we have a right to stick together. We're not
I
doing
mean, I don't
anything illegal.
know. Hey, I know. I mean, I know what Joe's talking about, and like if it was just like a little single, I mean, this is a big opening, but they even got a couple park benches in between, like the little where you use the bathroom and where you go on the other side. So yeah, I mean, she might have heard the drone, I guess.
Yeah.
What day is it, Joe Fodoleo? You don't
Well,
know
it's
what day
Sunday,
it is?
Joe. Come on, you're late.
Today is the Philadelphia Eagle Day. They got a Philadelphia Eagle Parade in New Orleans today.
I'm surprised Joe's not down there.
They got a Super Bowl parade actually today. First ever Super Bowl parade. So I guess it'll be like a Mardi Gras parade. I had some friends that went to the quarter last night, actually, though, and they said it is unbelievable. I mean, now listen, I'm sure somebody could do something bad, but I tell you what, they it looks like a war, with the big vehicles,
Sure.
and I mean, but hey, you hate to say that's what it takes to keep people safe these days. So
Yeah. Yeah. They definitely look like they were taking
yeah, it looks
security
like a
serious.
military operation.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hey, it I don't know. It's kind of a shame, but it is what it is. And
Yep.
I mean, I tell you what, though, man, they couldn't have hit a better week for weather-wise. It's like almost like spring. I mean, actually, even from the snow, our grass done turned back green that quick.
You'll be out
Matter
there
of fact,
mowing.
we got flowers and clover and dollarweed coming up. We'll be having to do our fertilizer here pretty soon.
Jeez. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. I
Nothing
know
like that here.
We got a baseball game. Well, we got a scrimmage, and they're giving out the season tickets. The baseball starts next Friday, so it's like going to be 82 degrees, 84 degrees today. So I'm gonna go out there at noon.
Nice. I'm a little jealous.
I wouldn't live. Who this? I wouldn't want to live in Philly if the Eagles lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the news guys here was interviewing one of the guys yesterday, and he said, y'all gonna break stuff when y'all win or lose. And the guy said, well, I can't guarantee that. So they was more or less picking on them. So I don't know. I hope not.
Yep.
Let's see. Did you see Mikey's channel was gone? Philly Dome banned for life. Yeah, we did. We did see that, Randy. And I don't know. I kind of listen. Everybody knows the story there, and everybody got their own opinion. One thing I saw a few YouTubers make videos about it and all, and just trying to get views off somebody's misery. And listen, Mikey, a lot of that was self-inflicted, and that's all I'm gonna say about it.
That's enough
if
said.
somebody comes knocking on your door about flying, hey, I would either do one of two things: do what they ask, or either sell all my drones, or you know what I mean. But hey, you can't poke the big man. Believe me.
Nope. You'll never win there. That's for sure.
No. I know it was wrong last time, man. Yeah, well, Randy, if I mean that might have been the last resort. Who knows?
It's not like they didn't give him second, third, fourth, fifth
But what I
chances.
will say is very interesting about that story. Monday, they released what the guy who ran into the super scooper he was gladly turned himself in. Well, I don't know about gladly. He turned himself in, offered to pay. He gets a slap on the hand. The next day, they announced Mikey's deal. And, because he has no representation and no money, well, he gets that. Now, was the two similar? I mean, and truly, Mikey never really hurt anybody I know of, but, it is what it is. So,
Yep.
it just shows you that money and lawyers talk, so.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And this guy's going to be a lawyer, he said, part-time.
Yeah, right.
He doesn't have enough going on.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite Sanford when the guy comes in and Lamont gets a traffic ticket and the guy said, well, he said, well, who says you're not a lawyer? He goes, the state of California, And they did a takeoff on, of course, Johnny Cochran, that's what.
Right.
What's up, Kenny boy?
Good morning. How you doing?
I was gonna drink some coffee and relax, but Lance Cadena said I had to go live, so
I hadn't even brushed my teeth yet.
don't blow into the microphone.
That's right.
So
what's going on, Kenny? What are you smoking?
Photo Leo and I for the last couple of days been working on building our Quad Mafia frame.
Photo Leo? What the hell's a Photo Leo?
There he is.
Joe's made some progress too.
I'm frustrated this morning, Joe. I still don't I'm good with the LRS. I can't figure out what's wrong because I've checked the wiring and the wiring is correct. And the issue I'm having is above my pay grade. So I reached out to Koopy this morning. So hopefully he'll respond to me sometime today.
What you having? What's it doing?
I can explain it to you. I just don't understand why it's doing it. And I don't want to get too detailed on the stream, but when you plug in ELRS, you're supposed to wait for it to go into Wi-Fi mode in order to bind it to your stuff. Well, to get Wi-Fi. Well, when I plug the battery in, it just is a solid green light on the receiver. It never blinks and it never goes into Wi-Fi. But when I plug it in to the computer just with the USB-C, no battery, it goes into Wi-Fi and I'm able to access the Express LRS webpage that way. And I put my binding phrase in there. But when I plug the battery in, it's not bad. I can actually do my receiver tabs and everything in Betaflight when I do the cable and turn my radio on. But when I put the battery in, nothing.
So is that some kind of voltage problem, or is it some kind of that it's not getting?
I don't know. I'm getting frustrated with it. I've been working on it all night.
I mean, you tried a couple of different batteries. I mean, I'm sure you did.
Yeah. And then she lights up. And
I don't understand that, the solid green light is usually, I'm Crossfire, but the solid green light usually means you're connected.
And I put a piece.
Hey, I got one word. I got 3 letters for you, Ken. DJI.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
How did I know? How did I know you?
I mean, look, I'm gonna have to take up for Joe here in the corner because Joe said it right the other day, man. Just what, I don't see what the ERS and all that anymore with the 03 and the DJI just makes it too easy,
I got 3 more letters.
Hey,
BNF.
Yeah,
Joe, Joe, do you have time to get on Discord in a little bit before you go out for the day?
Yeah.
I want you to look at something because the pinouts are the exact same on Crossfire and the LRS.
Okay.
And I was just going to pull up the wiring diagram, let you look at it and see. I mean, I'm not missing anything though. It's all correct.
You put it in Betaflight. I'm sure you've told it what UART you're on and everything.
That was the only other thing I was wondering about UART because of the 04 Pro. I'm wondering if I have to disconnect something on the 04 Pro so it's not interfering with the UART if they're on the same UART.
That might be
the only other thing I was wondering.
What? Let's see. You plug the entire unit, just plug and play, plugged it in.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That's why.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if I got to disconnect one of the cables that's on the UART.
That's exactly why. Yeah, if you're going ELRS or Crossfire, you need to cut or remove the yellow and brown wire from the.
All right. And I have not done that.
cable.
And that was the next option.
Yep.
There you
All
go.
right. Hopefully that'll fix it.
Yep, that's why. Yeah,
Okay.
you need to remove. Like I said, I've always just cut them off flush right at the plug. Mikey says, lift a little tab and pull the whole wire out of there.
Yeah, I may try to do
It's
that.
that's kind of difficult, but
There you go. Problem solved. Look
But
at that.
why will it bind with the cable but not the battery?
it's a good question.
I know, because it seems to be working one way, it just won't work another way.
Probably because you're powering the air unit with a cable, and you're powering the ESC and everything and the air unit and everything with the battery.
I bet you the cable's not turning on the 04 completely,
That's why.
and
Yeah,
it's
like
not
still
getting
kinda low.
enough power to turn that UART on.
It's
and
still
then
on
the
like a low
battery
power.
in it.
Yeah, when you plug the flight control, when you're plugging into beta flight, you're plugged into the flight controller,
Yeah.
and the 04 is not coming on.
And it's like
Yeah.
it's in low power state. Well,
That's
it's not
exactly
even on.
right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So you got
Got a
the 04
deductive
unit.
reasoning.
Yeah, there you go.
You got the 04 unit on that then, Ken?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and announce it now. It don't fit on the Quad Mafia frame. We're gonna have to do some adjustments to it.
Modifications.
It's not even screwed in. I jammed that thing in there, and then I put
Duct tape it.
I put hot glue. So what I
Take
did,
the hot glue.
I'll show you. But I angled it up. I put it in there, put the top plate on there, and wedged it in there, and then I angled it all the way up to where it's touching the top of the top plate, and then I jammed hot glue underneath it here to hold it propped, and now it's stuck in there. It won't go anywhere. I can't change the angle, but it's in there. But no, it don't
Let
fit.
me introduce
Here,
you
let
to
me
Tim
do-
at tool time
Here,
here.
look at the
Yeah.
front of it right there, if you can see that.
Put some light on it. There you go.
I'm like,
See? See, I jammed hot glue in there, but it is not screwed into anything at all.
Wow.
So yeah, it's definitely
Living on the edge,
jerry
good
rigged.
Ken.
So
yeah,
it'll
let's,
work.
let's look at JoJo's here.
Yeah, look at his all pretty and clean.
Let's go,
That's the-
baby.
That's the
See the-
03 though, right?
Yeah, this is the 03. Yeah, I took the
That's sweet, man. That looks really nice.
the 03 out of the Demibot and put it in the Quad Mafia frame, and put the 04 in the Demibot. This one's almost done.
It
That
looks
sweet.
good.
Yours looks good too, Ken. Just not quite
Thank
as
you.
good.
Yeah, mine's all pieced together, but it's gonna be a basher anyways.
Yours would
That's
look
right.
like if I tried to do it. But nothing would happen when I plugged it in, no matter what I
Hey,
put.
as long as it flies, I could care
Oh yeah,
less
something
what
would
it
have
looks
happened.
like.
It'd have a little smokestack coming from it, if I did it.
Yeah, I couldn't even get that probably.
Never good when a plume of smoke comes out of your quad on first plug in.
But I tell you, I mean,
Randy, let's see. Don't buy Z batteries. I have two that are less than. Where is Z batteries from, Randy? Is that something off?
I've heard of that. I've heard that brand. Less than 6 months old.
wow, that's not good. Well, I saw a couple of videos with what was it? The Eddie Nunez put up one with the Cineflow with the 04. Man, the footage on that looks really good with the 04 unit. And there was another guy that had it as well. And man,
Hot Rod said he can fix that for you, Ken.
Oh,
there you go.
yeah. Hey, all right. I just got your message. I'll call you after the show also. We'll get in more detail on it because I'm sure it's an easy fix. I just got to figure out exactly what the issue is so it'll talk.
Yeah, you should just super glue that camera right on top of the frame instead of just trying to jam it in there.
Yeah, you have no idea how much stuff I did. Even the antenna mount on here that I did, because I put the dual antennas on there. But these are two separate 3D prints, and I just reversed them and then slid them down on there and slid the antennas in. And I put double stick tape because the antennas were too skinny for the mounts. And you have no idea how much finagling I did just to make this thing get put together. It's definitely a puzzle.
Yeah.
Let's see what Eddie Nunez. What's he got? Cineflow. Let me see if I can. Yeah, so I guess people are getting there. The 04 is going,
I gave Eddie a hard time because it looked like there was a Best Buy in the background where he was flying.
Is Eddie?
So I asked him if that was where he was getting all of his, like his Mavic 4.
This is the first one.
If that was the famous Best Buy.
Yeah.
Breaking limits, redefined on a mission, yeah.
Oh, that's an 03. Let's see. Let me see.
Yeah, he started out with the 03, and then he
I was about to say it looks like the 03.
yeah, but then he went to the 04
That's the 04. Okay.
on the Cine Flow.
It looks like to me I'll be having the 104 air unit and sticking with 03. It's not. It's not enough for me.
Not enough of a.
I'm about the enjoyment of flight, not so much the quality of video. How much, I mean, 03, my God.
And Joe, I think too, look, people do get excited about all at one because I have really no when y'all eventually get that frame where to work, we'll probably, do one of the 04s in that, Quad Mafia frame. But, hey, at a 179 and everything fits, already, I mean, it's really, man,
Yeah, and we will redesign the Quad Mafia frame to house the 04. Actually, the 03 even is a bit tight because it's the same width of the camera, and so the camera itself is actually behind the front standoffs.
Eddie looks like he's about to step in a boxing ring there.
Mama said, "Knock you out."
No, but hey, it's
hey.
Go ahead, Ken.
Let me address Randy's comment real quick because
one?
the one about he was thinking about the Quad Mafia, but if it don't fit, he's not going to get it. Randy, the ones that we have are basically test quads. It's our first design. Mm-hmm. That's why we have them, and that's why we're building them and flying them and crashing them. That's why I tried to put the 04 in it. We're going to redesign it before the final release comes out to where everything will fit perfectly. So you don't have to worry.
I mean, that's listen, Randy, I understand what you're saying. The same thing. I mean, what Joe and them have, that's why they have it. Joe's camera, I mean, if you looked at it, it's sitting way too far back. I mean, but he's got it in there. So he's going to get, it's not near where it needs to be, even with the 03. So
yeah, it will. You will see standoffs and maybe part of the frame a little bit because the way it's set back.
So,
but that's okay. It's protected. It's meant to back, so it's protected.
Wait, see, I don't know.
I mean, I see the quality difference. 03 is enough for me.
Yeah.
You could see the difference, I think, in like lower light, but I mean, if you're not flying in low light, can you justify the difference?
Well, I mean, especially that the 03s are, hey, it's $50 less. And listen, I'm sure that they're going to let those run out and then you won't be able to get them. But for the moment, every frame, and listen, hey, you fast forward probably 3 or 4 months from now, every frame will probably be retrofitted be fitted for an 04,
Right.
So it's better for it to be a big opening and then you can scale it down with some kind of TPU,
Yep.
You can't go big. That's the thing,
Yeah, you can soft mount it on TPU. Dave's real good at printing, coming up with custom prints for things like that. The Armaton.
Well, yeah, I mean, I see that, Rob, but truly, I don't really see a big difference in that. I mean, maybe the guys that do a bando complete in the dark, but I mean, just flying outside and going through trees is not going to really give you.
Even going under the parking garage and stuff like that. I mean, it adjusts quick enough. I mean,
I don't like the 03 at sunset at all.
Well, it's definitely not. I mean, you could see it even if you think it's halfway. The other day, I put it up and it was around 5:30 and it looked pretty bright. But the minute you put it up, you see a little grainy. I mean, it gets grainy real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I saw another guy did one. He did it right in the evening with the 04. I think I was a Cineflow too. Was Desert Eagle. He put up a nice video of he was just out flying in some fields as the sun was going down. And I thought that, I mean, you could definitely see, the 04 in the low light, real nice.
Michael Belshi, welcome in.
Belshi.
Nick, let's see, waiting for a few more buying and flyers to come out. 04 for pull it. I did on the radio mask. Yeah. Buying and flyers, Joe and I were talking about it the other day. I mean, believe it or not, man, they're probably about $50 in 2.5 hours worth of work, a little cheaper, or a little bit more, I would say. But
I'm
And
waiting for
those are
the.
really expensive, you know. And they got some O3 binding flies. Man, I saw this. That's really, you know, pretty reasonable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
waiting
incredible.
for the '07 unit. Maybe by the time I'm ready, the '07 unit on a binding fly.
Stop it, John. You've been ready, John.
I tell you what, I'm frustrated, Joe, because the weather's just been so crappy, windy, and
Yeah, it sucks.
snow, and we're getting freezing rain today, and don't get me started.
It's been in the upper 70s, low 80s down here. Come on down. Come fly. Come fly with me. Come fly. Let's fly away.
Well, you be flying pretty soon. Shit, less than 60 days.
Yeah. Wow, that's coming up, isn't it?
Well, Michael, I understand that part. Yeah, I mean, you know, building yourself, hey, you know, and you can make it look and do exactly what you want. And yeah, that's you know, that's very understandable.
For the most part, I recommend doing that. Build it yourself so you know what's where and all that. You know how to fix it. But man, these binding flies are so. It's like, man, maybe just get a binding fly and figure out how to fix it.
Yeah, but I didn't know you had to get super glue and duct tape. I mean, I never saw my son-in-law. I'm just saying, you know.
You need to stock up on glue sticks.
Southern engineering at its finest.
Now Ken's just he's got a you know, he's doing some advertisement for duct tape and super glue.
Yeah, he's sponsored.
He's sponsored, yeah. Zip ties, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, wind. You're right, Randy. I mean, the wind. Well, I don't say it doesn't matter. Well, Ken's got that little whoop. He loves to fly. It matters on there that day because I'll tell you what. He took off from my house and almost landed at the neighbor there. You know.
Hell, even in a 5-inch. I mean, if, you know, like I can feel it in the 5. You know, yeah, you got control and everything, but you talking about doing a big power loop. You know, going into the wind. Like, whoa, I'm way back here. You know. And then trying to do one the opposite way. Like, oh, that didn't work very well.
I have 2 very special bills. Good deal, Rob. Yeah, hey,
well, that'd be cool.
We're excited. You know, the South Florida Drone Meetup. You know, it's funny. Go back. Well, of course, this is the 5th year. Probably the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd year. Probably. I'm not sure about Joe, but I'm not Kenny and John the same way. But man, we'd have never been talking about FPV. You know what I mean? We said those guys are weird. You know,
those guys. Well, I tell you what. I think I was telling you the other day, Johnny. I couldn't even watch videos on YouTube of FPV. Like Joe would put something up, I could watch it for like a couple seconds. I was like, okay, I gotta sit down and you know, I couldn't watch it. But
yeah,
you know, I think for me anyhow, when the Avata came out, that kind of, you know, got my feet.
Helped cure that a little bit.
The Avata 2, man. The Avata and the Avata 2 are great. I'm tell you what, you know. Even for like Joe, I know he, you know, great flyer and all that. But you know, if you want to take a little break and relax a little bit, you can kind of relax with the Avata and Avata 2. I mean, maybe not the way Joe, but you know, even with the motion controller, you know, if you want to fly with it, man, you can really get some nice stuff. And you know, because even flying a 5-inch, 3.5, and when you're on that, you know, full acro, I tell you what, man, can't go to sleep on them sticks for a second, you know.
Yep. It's
So
definitely different.
It is fun. And look, you don't have to, you know, I you know, we tease Joe all the time, but you know, if you just fly, you know, the other day, I just went kind of flying normally and went over to my daughter's house, and it looks cool, you know, just a whole different kind of flight. And
yeah, we started a new big remodel project this past week, and
yeah, I saw some.
They're on like 14 acres, you know, pretty. So I just flew the Avata around, you know, just nice and easy, and you know, I mean, it's kind of fast, but not really any flippy or nothing. Just nice and smooth, and through the trees and through gaps, and it's fun, man. It's a lot of fun. I hit that power line and saved it. Hit a tree and saved it.
Yeah, no, and that's you know, hey, and even if you like, hey, that's a good, you know, but everybody's got goggles. Hey, you can get in spectator mode there and watch people fly. I mean, that's, hey, even if you don't want to fly, hey, I would suggest getting a little cheap pair of goggles, maybe, and you can watch some people. You know, I guess the N3s. Could you watch?
Yeah, the N3s. I don't know about audience mode. I imagine you can. You know,
yeah.
I imagine you've got that, and I hear they're really comfortable goggles, you know, for box goggles. In fact, Billy said that on your show the other day, that there's very comfortable goggles, those M3s, for a cheaper set and bigger, kind of clunkier, but very comfortable.
Man, I tell you what, it's cloudy. It's supposed to be pretty today, but it's cloudy as hell. Oh, we've been having
Cloudy
some
here
fall.
too.
Yeah, we've been having fall, real bad fall. I know the causeway was closed a couple days. Okay, yeah, there you go. The goggles 3, N3, the Integras, and goggles 3. Yeah, so that's
There you go.
I guess that's the goggles 6, the goggles 3, and the goggles
Oh,
3.
that's cool. Yeah.
3 and the N3.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep them all straight. I'll tell you that much.
No, it's starting to really get. We were talking about that the other day, man. It's starting to get a lot of variations of goggles and air units. I mean, it's and look, at some point, it's got to cut it off. Like, hey, this is not going to work with this, and I know.
You know what frustrates me is that they have the goggles 3 are compatible with the 04. They came out at the same time.
Yeah,
they should be calling the goggles 3 goggles 4 and 04, so at least the 4s match up instead of having a backwards thing every single time they do a new release.
Yeah, and the Avata 2, you have to use the RC3.
Yeah,
goggle 3. I know.
At least be some type of uniform. I don't care how they name their stuff. At least make them uniform.
Yeah, no, I know that's a bit frustrating.
Very foggy here this morning, Jerry Bauer. So I have to wait to go find. If you want to update your GX12 radio, go here.
Is Eddie coming to South Florida? Any word of that? I haven't met Eddie yet.
I think he goes to the Dominican Republic right about then.
At the same time, yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's right around Easter, so that's probably his Easter trip home.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't guess. Has Eddie ever been to the South?
Not that I know of. I was at the third one. I know he wasn't at the last one.
He wasn't at Spin Up, right, Ken? So I guess I never met Eddie.
No, I've never met Eddie.
Well, Eddie, you better get your ass down.
Come on, Eddie.
No excuses.
I mean, family or friends. I mean, come on now. That's easy.
We're gonna get a complex here if you don't show up at one of these.
Like South Florida's on the way to Dominican Republic, right?
Yeah, you could just stop by. Yeah,
I think so. Just drive right by.
Yeah. Brad.
Drive right by.
Yeah, Randy, listen, I say this even about the camera drones. Ray says that, he says he's like a wimpy flyer with the camera drone. Hey, fly at your own the way you want to fly. I mean, don't just, hey, it's your drones and fly the way you want to fly. I mean, hey, you can all get better even with a camera drone. Now what I know now about FPV is, hey, I even respect those guys more when I see those moves, because before it just looked like ziggy zaggy stuff to me. But now what they have to do and how they have to move the sticks to do it, is even more impressive. So that's what it's all about.
There's definitely some skill involved, that's for sure.
It's so much fun. I love FPV. And FPV is it's made me a better camera drone pilot. And you really get the feel of how close you can be to things. And so when you're in a camera drone, and you're looking at your screen like, oh man, I'm, back years ago, I'd be like, oh, I'm really close to that tree. And then you look up at it and you're like, it's like 60 feet away.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
It makes orbits easier too.
Yeah.
It makes what, Ken?
Like orbits and stuff when you're trying to follow a subject of some sort. It makes it a lot easier.
Yep.
But, so Joe, what you doing today, Mr. Photo Leo? You doing
Ubering probably. I was about to go do that and I saw y'all on. I said, well, let me hold up and say hello to the guys first.
Yeah, I'm gonna
try to make a full day of it.
A cup of coffee here.
I think I need another one too.
Hey, which 2 wires? You said the red and the brown?
Yellow and brown.
Brown.
Yeah, it's on the far side. You got red, black, gray, white, yellow, brown.
Yellow, brown. All right. I'm going to take this thing apart when we get off.
You'll get it figured out, Ken.
Yeah, I'm sure that's. I bet that's exactly all it is. Like
that's what I'm hoping.
Cut those two wires off.
Set up Betaflight, and I'm done.
Yeah, cut those 2 wires off. Plug it back in. I bet that'll fix that issue.
Hey Joe, my friend's in charge of the sound. I mean, he's always worked for the Saints and the Superdome, sound system and stuff. So it may be a little surprise during a halftime show.
Okay.
I don't know.
Johnny's gonna join Kendrick Lamar for a couple of songs and dances.
I might watch the halftime.
I don't even know who that artist is.
I know who he is, but
I had never heard him. I looked up some of his songs the other day. Was listening to him.
You know his songs. You probably just. I mean.
Yeah.
Just don't make the.
Yeah, they still ain't figured out what they're gonna do with some of the verbiage in 2 of his songs. So.
Oh, okay. Figure some stuff out, huh?
Yeah. So, I don't need to cut those.
The receiver is on UART too.
UART too.
Yeah.
Man, drone. Joe does it all. What's he talking about? Is liftoff free? No, liftoff is like $9, $9.95, I think.
Is that all?
I thought
it was 20, but I could be wrong.
It's 20, but
is it okay?
Sometimes you can get it on special at 10. I think.
Scotty Jackrabbit, right there, buddy. Damn, I'm glad we was about to talk about him and he was listening.
Oh,
Scotty.
Scotty's coming on. Oh, I may have to go.
God, there it is, right there.
Be right back.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. He must be sleeping late. Gee, it's like
probably
it's like 12 o'clock in Scotty's world.
He was out swimming in the canals.
Yeah, he probably was.
Or flying something through some fires. You know, Scotty stuff.
Well, that clock that he's got on the wall that don't move, that's what it is. So.
Yeah. Scotty doing Scotty things.
I don't know if he's let's see. He said send him. Let me send it to him in Messenger then, I guess.
It's in the chat.
Scott don't do Facebook too much. Am I friends with Scott? Yeah. All right, Scotty. You got it. Holy channel locks on you.
That's a joke because
up,
Chris Hope uses channel locks.
Oh yeah, look, Ken got the big
for everything.
The big blue one
channel locks I got here.
Those are big enough.
Take the motors off.
Man, it's like a damn pipe wrench.
Oh, that's funny. Make sure you bring those to the meetup.
Oh, I will.
Scotty, what's up, Scotty?
How much? How you doing?
Was your ears burning?
Not really. Yeah, because y'all were talking about crazy FPV flyers. That's what prompted me to come on.
It was that guy from Houston there talking about you.
Actually, I didn't hear anything. I've been working, and I already knew Rodney wasn't coming on. So, oh man, that means I got to get more work done.
Yeah, I didn't know.
So let me check to see if Johnny came on, and so
I wasn't. And Lance Cadena messaged me and said, "Hey, if you're not doing nothing, Dennis is not on, and Rodney's not on." So I wasn't doing anything.
Makes a big void today.
I hadn't been on in the morning other than Sunday for probably about 2 weeks now.
Yeah, I think Dennis and Rodney are sick now.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see the message. Dennis didn't send me a message, but I don't know. I think did Rodney pop on for a few seconds, or he did?
He was on. I think he's having audio problems too.
Oh, okay.
When I saw.
Yeah, he did a live stream early this morning, but like you said, he was having audio problems again.
But he wasn't feeling good either?
No, that's my understanding, because I think that's the reason why he didn't have drones and coffee or whatever he calls his show.
Well,
Rodney.
Feel better, guys.
Yeah, Rodney is Rodney and friends. I can't say that because I don't have any friends, so I just gotta say drunk. Rodney has fun in doing that on Saturday mornings. Of course, Dennis, and then I'm not sure what's. I'll text Rodney and Dennis in the morning, see what's going on.
Might be a
morning, Scott.
Yeah, there's a chance that Dennis may not even be on tomorrow. He said you just have to check and see.
Well, Scott, I'll tell you what, you can grab your ukulele and start singing. We'll listen.
You want me to sing? I'll sing Happy Birthday.
Oh Lord, please.
That's why I like your family's videos so much, because they sound just like me.
Man, I tell you what, now they try to top each other now,
Oh, well, I'm not trying.
Actually, the last birthday, I don't know. Well, Gracie, I don't know. They was kind of calm on hers. I don't know.
Toned it down a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get loud. We got one coming up in March. Match. We'll kind of all start. The problem with out of the 12 of us, 9 of the birthdays are within about 3 months apart. You know, it's like once mine comes September, and then everybody's birthday follows in the next 3 months. You know.
Wow.
So Kent, it looks like I'm gonna be over there Thursday afternoon.
Awesome. I can't wait. I already cleaned up the spare bedroom, so you're good to go.
I do have to work my Thursday afternoon, but as soon as I get done with that, I'll be heading your way.
Cool. We're gonna have fun. I hope
Is
you
that,
like staying up late at night.
What's that?
I said I hope you like staying up late at night because I know you don't.
Better start taking my naps now, I guess.
We're gonna be doing some night.
Scotty, good morning.
Good morning. I was up at 2:00 this morning doing my morning job.
What? 2:00?
Yeah, believe it or not, when I got up, my wife was up. I said, "What the heck are you doing up?" You know. So
that's too early.
Of course, she's sleeping right now, and I've been going since 2.
Hey, that's why I like you know, it's funny because when I meet up with Scotty and I, of course, spend the night at his house, it's like, man, we both get up early. Like we said, let's leave at, I don't know, 7 or 6:30, and we were on the road about 5:30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we got to the hotel for noon, basically. You know.
Yeah, something like that. Noon, 1 o'clock. I mean, I think it was like 12:30.
Yeah,
something.
and we stopped a couple of those with those little things.
Yeah, Randy, I'm the same way. 8 p.m., man. Matter of fact, come 3 o'clock, I'm starting to feel it, but I'm okay. But 8 p.m., buddy, I'm 15 minutes and I'm asleep. So that's why when these shows come on at 8 and 9 o'clock, I'm like, man, I can't. I'll tough through it for a little while, but I can't. And football game, I'm sitting there like, man, Super Bowl starts at 6:30. I'll be lucky if I get a quarter.
Damn.
And the sad thing is, I'll wake up right near the end of the game, and you know, because I leave TV on, and like I try to figure out who won or didn't win, because I won't open my eyes. I shut them right back and go right back to sleep. So,
hey Joe.
Yeah. It's upside down.
I ain't got
there you go.
Shit, there's something.
Right back at you, home.
Recorded on my
Right here, Kenny.
Hang on a second.
My cup's in the dish.
everybody's got their 04s built.
Yes.
I put mine in the Demibot. Yeah, I took the 03 out of it and put the 04 in it.
Did you? So it fit okay?
It fits great. It fits great. I actually put the 03 antenna on the 04 unit. I didn't have a print for the dual antenna.
I got the goggles 3, and then I got the new radio, and I can't fly anything with either one of them.
Hey Johnny, I'm gonna back out because I just poured water on my computer, so I'm gonna turn it off real quick.
That ain't good.
So I'll be back in a minute.
I hear you, Jerry. I hear you.
What did Jerry say?
Refs are wearing red and white shirts, red and yellow striped jersey.
Yeah.
I tell you, that's causing a lot of uproar no matter what. I mean, it's just the talk.
Morning. Hey,
Oh yeah.
The NFL said Tuesday that the game will be fairly officiated. I mean, what do you think they're gonna say? You know?
Yeah.
It always
Do
is.
our best. Can't promise, but
It'll be fairly officiated into the Chiefs' advantage. Yep, it will.
I made
They'll do it fairly.
my Kansas City Chiefs ref payment last month, so we should be good.
paid your dues to the
I paid my dues.
refs.
And Johnny, I actually need I need to order probably at least 2 more 04s, maybe 3.
Get a couple for me while you're at it.
So no, the pros.
Oh, sorry.
I'm waiting on mine.
So I got 4 in. I've got 4 installed. I've got 2 here. I've got 2 frames coming that I just got to get both of those frames built before South Florida.
Yeah.
To bring. And as I said, it'll be something special. It's
Good
different.
Hey,
It's different. I'll tell you. It's different. I'll tell you that.
No, not from you, Rod. Something different. Something crazy, innovative from Hot Rod and Daytona. Nah,
something crazy, something a bit crazy. Yes.
I can't wait to see it, man. I can't wait to see you and everybody and what you build and all that.
You're bringing it to the right place because there are a lot of crazy guys there. I'm telling you that.
Yeah. So
I can vouch for that.
Ken knows one. He doesn't know the other. In fact, I told him the other day that I had one coming, and I told him I wasn't telling him what it was. So
does
haven't told Maddie either.
Does anybody right now make an 04 frame, or is everything has some? I mean,
there's the 04 binding flies coming out.
Do so? This goes back to something I think I said before it came out, as far as whether you could put it in your frame or not. The width is the same. The issue is the screw holes.
Right.
So it kind of depends on
screw holes and height.
If you had a frame that sort of had a metal ring like this with TPU that had the screw, that you did the screws in, the problem was that the metal frame would be in the way of reprinting the TPU with the larger screw holes.
Now I know Mario 5, and on Thingy, Mario 5 has a TPU that because the Mario 5 is pretty damn wide. So I know
Rod TJ sent you a message.
Who?
TJ.
Let me grab it and see if you can see it. So this is the iFlight Nazgul, and they this front nose piece, this little metal piece that you can see there, they sold an upgrade kit for $8.99 that I bought. So my Nazgul is one of the 4 that has the 04 on it of my binded flies. The other 3 are ones that I built.
So, Rod, can you put it in the domain? Have you done it in the domain yet?
Not yet. I literally keep looking at Gep's site every day to see if Gep has released one. Remember, Chinese New Year just got over this week, so it might be another week or so. They've released an upgrade kit for one of their own other drones, but not the domain yet. And they're really hot and heavy on pushing the Vapor 5 and the Vapor 6 at the moment, which are both 04s.
Yeah, Brad designed these. I just put them up while Rob was talking.
What is that?
Trailer hitch.
Trailer hitch cover.
That's very cool.
Oh, cool.
Is the whole thing?
Yeah, you just slip it. Yeah, you just slip it in and put it in with a little pin. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I see that. That's pretty neat.
I think they'll work on anything but a Maverick. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, he could custom make those things, like put Jackrabbit FPV across it or something like that.
Absolutely, yeah. We could just slap Rick Williamson has just slapped that little sticker on there. Little award can go right in the middle.
There you go.
So the big problem with the 04s, doesn't matter, pro or light, is the fucking cables that they ship those things with are bloody hell sensitive. If you bend that thing, taking the camera in and out a few times as you're building it, you run the risk of that thing failing. I had that happen. It literally freaking tore. It's fragile as hell.
Talking about the MIPI cable?
Yeah, that MIPI
and the
cable.
lights are the same way. They've got a retrofit where you glue in because they'll detach from the board. Dang, I can never remember that guy's name.
Runcam has replacements on Amazon.
I
had them in my cart.
Can you shrink wrap them or something before you start fooling with them, or would that not be?
Oh, yeah, shrink wrap them to what? The 04, the 04 units this wide. You need shrink wrap this big to do that.
No, I'm talking just
on the cable.
You could probably tape it, depending on what you're doing, to kind of secure it. Run a piece of tape top to bottom of the air unit over top of the cable. That's not a bad idea. Match Tech says add glue, and that's not a bad idea either. But you want to make sure that you glue past where the cable sort of hits the MIPI piece. So you want to get part of the round part of the cable, glue it to the 04 unit too, so that it can't. That thing right where the cable and the MIPI thing comes together, Jesus, there's no reinforcement in there.
No, there's
Looking
not.
at it,
Yeah,
there's
they're right,
literally
yeah.
no reinforcement.
Right side by side.
Ken's got plenty of duct tape and
That thing will rip in an instant. Wow. And that's not even what I would consider mishandling it to cause it to do that. You know, when you're building, it's pretty common to put the air unit in, and it's like, oh, something's not wrong. Okay, let me flip it out for a second, do something, and flip it sort of in and out of the frame as you're kind of working, or you're adjusting the TPU or whatever it is. But the 04, I'll just say, be very bloody gentle with that MIPI cable between the camera and the air unit. That thing is fragile. So Mastech's right. The other guys will release theirs and just replace them. It's fine. I don't know how they could screw it up. I don't know how they could screw it up, because the interesting part is it's the same damned cable and pin out as the 03. So it must be a firmware thing, protocol thing, as to why you can't use the 03 cable with the 04 camera.
Maybe if they change the gauge of the wires, it would work better.
No, not no new.
It's literally the way they manufactured it, because it's the same cable with the same pin outs.
Mm-hmm. I didn't realize it was a different cable, honestly.
It is.
Yeah, Mastech tested it. He says it will not flip and work.
It's definitely different.
So
because that's the other problem.
Like you did, you can use the antenna to get the single antenna versus the two antenna.
Yeah, I put the single, the 03 antenna on my 04.
Yeah. It uses the UFL connector, so you can do whatever.
Yeah, those are exactly the same. I just didn't have a print. I picked up some prints yesterday from my buddy Will, and he had a bunch of stuff ready for me for the Quad Mafia frame. But I was like, man, I need some stuff for the Temibot too. I need the dual antenna.
Joe, you could have put 2 pieces of PVC pipe back there.
Yeah, I got plenty of that laying around. PVC primer and cement.
I downloaded a print that I started with, and so they had a slit in the tube, so you could just slide the antenna in, right? So that you didn't have to like take everything apart in order to mount the antenna into the
That's
thing.
what I did. I slit mine. with my wire snips, I just
the problem with the print that I had was the tube was too small. So when you split it, it was kind of like this, and the antenna kept wanting to pop out of the damn thing. So I literally had to adjust it in Tinkercad and make it a bit bigger to sort of.
Yeah, I slit mine and then and kind of jammed it in there, and then just zip tie and a piece of electrical tape. Ain't nothing coming out.
Covers for your arms. These are pretty neat.
Oh, yep. Motor wire cover.
Chat anymore, but Dusty earlier said that he may be trying to sell his Mini 2. Dusty, if you're still in here, hit me up on Facebook Messenger. I may be interested in buying it if you want to sell it pretty cheap. I want to buy it for my daughter's boyfriend. And the other thing is, I think maybe you sent me a friend request a while back, and I'm real private and I don't accept people's friend requests. It had a person's name Dusty in it, but it started
Dusty and
with
Michelle.
it had a girl name in it, so I blocked it. So let me know if that's you, and I'll try to figure out how to.
That's him. That's him.
That's him. All right, I blocked it because I don't ever accept any of that crap.
Jeez, Ken. Wow.
You don't have to block it. You can just decline it. So.
Hell no, I don't like being bothered. I block everything.
Who's this Dusty and Michelle? Block. Block.
I'll go back and figure out how to unblock it.
No wonder he must have blocked me too, because I sent him messages and.
Yeah, I was trying to reach out to you the other day too, Ken.
John, who hasn't blocked you?
So
who hasn't blocked you, John?
That's true. That's true.
So the deal on what Joe was talking about with those last 2 cables, you can cut them. You can also actually pull them out.
Yeah.
You have a little razor. You can actually lift the little piece of plastic and pull the wire out of the plug. I've been doing that just to save the wires, or in case I change my mind and kind of put it back in.
Well, I'm gonna pull the top plate off and see where it's connected.
Yeah.
If I
So
can
you only
get to the
have
wires without having to take too much stuff off, I'll pull the wires out. But if I can't get to them
just cut them, and that's fine.
I'm gonna cut them and hope that that's the problem.
That's what I've always done is cut them. It's never had a problem.
Yeah, and no, it won't have it.
And that's the white and red wire, right, Joe?
The
No.
last two. Yeah.
No, the black and the red.
Yeah, just
Black
cut
and
them
red.
off.
Just cut them.
Just cut them off.
So the habit that I've gotten into,
Process
although
elimination.
you do not need to do it if you use a UART other than UART2 for the ELRS. I found that one out from Bardwell. If you put it on any UART other than UART2, you could leave those two wires in there. It won't impact anything. But Maddie and I got to talking about this, and there actually is a reason to do it, even if you're not on UART2, the power pole. So if you pull those two things off, then the air unit isn't pulling quite as much power. And the freaking Becks on those damn flight controllers have a nasty habit of popping.
Rod,
that are supporting the O.
Rod, the only way to fix the UART2 issue though would be to desolder where I already soldered it and put it on different pads, right?
Right, Brad.
If you wanted to do it that way, I wouldn't do it. I would simply just pull the wires out.
I got the answer,
or
got
cut
the
them.
answer right there on the screen. Look, you ought to use just DJI.
Yeah. So the other thing, the other thing that I do out of the box,
all right,
as
TJ,
I'm building them now, this advice came from Maddie, and to be honest, he's 100% correct. And that is, you should always take the black and the red wire out of the plug that goes to the flight controller and solder it to the ESC. The Becks on those flight controllers fucking suck. You could have that thing die on you in midair simply because that the power management on those freaking flight controllers is horrid at best. And I mean freaking horrid. But so I actually, that curse drone that I had, Ken, I had a problem and I fried 2 fucking air units. Because I think I had a ground on the frame, and it was arcing. So I ordered, and I have them. I think it's Maytech has some Becks that you can order that support 6 through 60 volts inbound, and it's got solder pads, so it comes with as 5 volt, and you can solder it to either do 9 or 12 volts. So I use that Beck soldered to the ESC, and then take the wires from the air unit, the power from the air unit, and solder into that Beck. The reason I do that is you're taking the power management for the air unit away from the flight controller.
Well,
tell Mike what a UART is.
So
Mike in Copper State wants to know what the UART is.
What a UART is.
It's a serial port. This is basically what it is. It's a serial port.
It's kind of like each device has to be connected to something different, and you can't have 2 devices on the same serial port.
UART.
Yeah.
Right.
So, anyways, this is the one thing, Ken, about doing the builds, and I go back to what Joe said a little bit earlier. Once you start building, you kind of learn through a lot of pain.
Yeah, I totally agree.
You learn all the little dumb things to do better and how to do it.
Building's better because you know how to troubleshoot when you have something that breaks. You kind of know where to look. Where, I started out doing binding flies because I wanted to hurry up and fly a quad. But then when it breaks, it takes you longer to figure out how to fix it because you didn't build it and you kind of don't know where to look. And that's when you start reaching out to help.
Yeah. And now I look at one and I'm like, okay, and it was just like the 04 when I put it in the iFlight. That thing's on the opposite end of the drone. I literally had to pop the flight controller off and to route the damn wire through that frame because it's so bloody tight. But I literally had no issues that I was just like, okay, this and popped it in and I was done. So
Ken,
they're not really, Johnny.
Ken, you got a daughter, right? Ken Harbauer?
I do.
Yeah, just tell her to marry somebody that can build a drone like my daughter did. So
exactly.
Problem solved.
Are you flying this weekend, Johnny?
I'm sure at some point. I flew yesterday, a couple batteries late. I fly almost every day at some point.
I was going to say Johnny flies every day, even in the snow.
You know, even in the snow. A little snow can't hurt. Marcus sent me a picture yesterday. It had snow about 6 feet, and I said, "That ain't no damn snow." He was bitching about driving 3 hours in the snow. Oh man, no. Joe and I went flying Thursday, and then he went back. He went to a separate place. Of course, I don't know if you heard earlier. He got the park rangers called on him, but I'm gonna go bail.
Really?
I'm gonna go bail him out of jail in a few minutes. I let him spend the night there. So
He's a troublemaker, is he?
yeah, oh man, I'll tell you, old Joe.
So as painful as that 1 3-inch drone that I built and gave to Maddie and built for me too, and we were having that problem with the damn thing just flipping out and falling out of the sky. That really taught me about vibrations in the frame, which is how I ran across that video that had that grease as part of it, to put the anti-vibration in there. And there's kind of one other thing that I did when I finally got the one working, because of how many times I'd taken things on and off and blown up flight control. Goddamn, I don't know how many parts I wasted on that drone trying to fix that thing. I didn't cut the motor wires, so I just kind of like bunched them up, but I used the gaffer tape. And when I looked at the black box logs, once that thing was flying, the noise that I had shown up in black box versus this latest one, it was almost none. But it kind of dawned. So I knew the grease was helping. I put it under the motors. I put it where the frame parts touch. I put it on the screws for the flight controller so that you wouldn't get vibrations going up the screws. These are some of the little things you start thinking about and learning as you run into this problem and try to. But that gaffer tape is a cloth tape, and a lot of it, I zip tie, right? I use zip ties. I think you actually want to really use that gaffer tape with the cloth tape, because it will absorb the vibrations in the arm. It will actually help you with the vibrations.
I also learned you don't want to just buy any gaffer tape, because some of the gaffer tape will get phrase, like shred on you. There's a brand out there called X Fasten, and it's a lot better.
Yeah, I have the one that was on Bardwell's FPV Know-It-All. Was the one that I ordered.
So you just want to make sure when you get it, you don't get the stuff that frays on you.
Better Boat is what this one is.
What is it? Better
Boat? Better Boat?
Better Boat.
I don't know why. I don't know why I ended up with this one. But
Scott, did you order some 04s, or have you? Or you?
Yep, I got 2 pros coming and 1 light.
So you gonna build, or you gonna?
I'm gonna change out my catalyst. My catalyst machine works.
And will it fit, or do they have some stuff to make it fit?
Well, the width is right, and yeah, that's right. I've been talking to Ken too. Ken's got one. He's got the 04 as well. So.
It'll fit in here, no problem. And then the sides of it has different slots so that you can put that camera in there with ease. And it doesn't have anything on the top of it that protects the camera.
Mine does, and I'm gonna take. Well, at least one of them does, and I got to take it off. But it obviously I had one that had it on and one that doesn't. I got 3 of those.
Joe, can you answer this question? Are they any?
I'm just reading that from Jerry. Yeah, I mean, other FPV. I mean, you're gonna have a DJI that you can use the DJI controller and Goggles 3. Other than DJI, I mean, just any FPV drone has got to have a DJI air unit in it to run the goggles and that controller.
Yeah.
No, it's not any air unit. It's got to be either the 03 or higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In order to support the Goggles 3.
Because I got the original air units, and it surely doesn't work for that.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah. So any DJI goggles and Goggles 3.
And as you pointed out to me, you can use it with 03, but your radio has to be compatible as well.
Yep. The goggles, the radio talks to your goggles. The goggles talk to the drone. So if you're doing The goggles 3, you have to use the RC3. And if you're doing the
RC3 as well, because I've got the original radio as well, and it won't work.
It
Correct.
just be 03 and up. Yeah, is what. I mean,
that's what I was just gonna ask. That original black radio,
yeah,
the one that kind of looks like this one.
Yep.
What is it compatible with?
Vistas and
original air unit.
Original air
not
unit.
the 03 at
No.
all.
you talking about the original air unit, like on the potato?
Yeah.
No,
the original air unit.
Potato.
Oh, okay.
You talking about the potato?
Yeah.
No, it won't fly the potato. You have to use the.
Hang on, I'll go get it for you.
The great.
Yeah, the RC2 with the flip up antenna that came with the potato, and you could fly the Avata 1 with it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then so if you're using that controller with the flip up antenna on an 04, you have to use Integras or G2s.
Yep.
Yep.
If you're using the one with the integrated antenna that came out when the Avata 2 came out, right? You could.
Yeah.
Is that when it came out with the Avata 2? I know it was a separate purchase, but that was when it came out.
Like, okay, the Avata 2 is 04, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, but the goggles, and of course the goggles 3 work with it and all, but the goggles 3 won't work with the 04, the Air 3S, but they'll work with the Air 2S, I believe. Or the Air.
Wait, say that again.
I'm talking about the Air 3. I'm talking about if you want to use the goggles.
The goggles 3 will work with the Air 3.
Air 3, but it won't work with the Air 3S.
Oh, it won't?
Oh, it doesn't.
Why?
Oh.
I don't know.
Why not? That's got to just be a firmware.
That's got to be firmware, yeah.
Yeah, it's firmware.
Yeah, because
So Johnny, if you pop that up, yeah. So iFlight has these. Gep has a set that are like these. Although the camera is the same, 04 to the Avata 2, the nose on the Avata 2 is wider, right? So the ND filters are really wide, which means they won't kind of really fit very well.
They won't fit between standoffs.
04 unit. So Gep RC and iFlight both have these where and it will be taller without being wide and hitting your frame. So that's kind of the other challenge right now with 04 when it comes to FPV drones. Until we can all lay our hands on these things, you got to be kind of careful, or you may end up scratching a lens. So, which you always want to put an ND filter on, if no other reason than to protect the lens.
All right, what is Randy saying here? Tell me why I'm on analog and can't even fly with my.
That's Dusty. Analog, I can't fly.
DJI stomps all over analog. Bad.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you should have seen the day Ken and I were at the fairgrounds and we were supposed to meet Jeff, and we got there, no Jeff, and we were like all the way up front by the road, and we're flying around, and eventually Ken ended up calling like, "Hey, where you at?" And we realized they were at the back of the fairgrounds in the big open extra parking lot. And when we got back there, the guys back there were like, yeah, something kind of kept interfering with us. We knew somebody had to be around. But I mean, that's more than probably a quarter mile from where Ken and I were sitting to where they were sitting. And every time we kicked in our DJI, we were fucking with that analog that they were flying with.
That's the original. That's the original radio for the DJI.
Oh wow!
Yeah. That's
you recognize these, Ken? You recognize these, Ken?
I do.
Some good friend gave me those. So anyway, and then on my drone, see, I got a standoff on horizontal, but I'll take that off. Take that GoPro off. Or that this is actually for the DJI
Action 2.
Action 2, yeah.
So
the best Action 2 there is Action 2.
You're right, Johnny.
Still a great price on them things. You get
here's who did that one for me. That's Fly High.
Oh,
I got that on the back of mine.
I had a friend of mine do me one. I got Jackrabbit on the back of it.
Did you get the one, Scotty, that has the little slot for the ND filter? No, you don't.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. No,
Look, I'll show you mine.
So, Scotty, I have an idea, and for anybody else out there too. This drone,
fly right. See the slot?
How about that?
Oh,
See the slot? It's got the ND.
Yeah, he improved on it.
Yeah, you got the ND. And then real quick, while I'm talking about NDs, Rod, check the I don't know if RunCam makes that, but I found this works great on the Avata 1, which doesn't need a lot of room, but then on the O3 Air unit, it works great between the standoffs. And that's RunCam brand. ND
there's several that work.
Yeah, because you're right. It'll fit on the Avata, but you go put it on a FPV drone and it don't fit.
So this guy, there are no screw holes. I'm not screwing it in from the side. Yeah, on this guy. So see the little red screw? So
yeah.
The standoffs on this drone are horizontal.
Okay.
So this camera cage, instead of you running the screws to the side of the frame, it's just tight enough in that TPU. And the TPU is attached to the standoff, and you can literally just rotate it on the standoff. So you don't need to worry about screw holes and all that crap on the side. So Scotty, that frame that you just showed, you have a horizontal standoff.
Yeah, but no, really, it's got screw holes on the side. I just look. Matter of fact, I got another one, exact same drone right here, and it doesn't have it. That's what Ken was just showing you. It's the one that doesn't have it.
So I guess don't need that. Is if you have something that has horizontal standoffs.
See, this one here doesn't have it.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
You put it across there to if you're going to mount a GoPro.
Mm-hmm.
And look, this thing's like 5 years old. I mean, this is no young drone, but it's a dang good drone. It's
yeah, it is.
And actually, the company that made this was right there where
a little bit like the Baby Hawk,
where Joe's at.
Half of it,
right here in Spring, Texas, a Photolito.
Yeah,
Photolito.
Where that Photolito guy lives.
Photolito.
Yeah, they're right in Spring, Texas. There was a Houston drone meetup a few years ago, and I think his name was Andy, but from Catalyst Machine Works. He was there. He was down there. I got to meet him.
Scotty, are they still building drones, Catalyst? I mean,
no. He might be, but I think he's gone more commercial.
I got you.
And he sold all his stuff to Pirate Drones. So if I need any parts or stuff, I can go to them.
I got you. So Ken,
you want to share that story, Scotty?
Ken, they got a little meetup y'all fixing to have. Is that?
Yeah, February 14th, 15th, and 16th at the
that's
St.
next
Augustine
weekend. I got you. Okay. Pretty neat.
So Scotty, you want to share that story you told me of the FPV guy in store in
Jacksonville?
Yeah, and the FPV versus the RC.
Yeah, I don't know what you're referring to, but I do know when I went to go pick up a drone, he said he wasn't making any money in FPV anymore.
Yeah,
so he was going pretty much all trucks now or vehicles.
That's the story. So that he's
and
RC sell more.
Actually, Ken, he was the very first person that ever told me about this meetup. Not this particular meetup, but they've had them in the past. And he told me, he said, man, you need to come over here one time when we have one of these meetups and come see everybody.
I think
that was 5 years ago.
I think he's sponsoring this one too, because Jeff mentioned his company name on his last live stream.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lewis. His name is Lewis.
It should.
Lewis is great.
Lewis helped me build my first one. I built my first one and burned it up. And I went back over to buy a new flight controller, and he said, well, why don't you just come over and sit in the shop and you can build it in the shop. I got everything here. You don't need to bring anything. He said, I'll review your work, make sure everything's good, and just step you through everything. I already kind of knew how to do it, but he would look at my soldering and look at my wiring and make sure everything was okay. Yep. And he said, all right, go to the next step, And
he did the same thing with me.
I built an Omega. And I still have it. Still works too.
And y'all answer that question, Mike?
Yeah, I was looking at that, Mike. Yeah, you can use that. The Goggles 3 can work with the O3. The Radio Master TX16, you're going to be using a Express LRS receiver or a Crossfire module and receiver. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rod. The Radio Master is only ELRS.
You could put a module.
Of course, you can put a module on it, but I'm saying it
depends
internally
on
is only.
Yeah, it depends on which version of that thing.
Okay, gotcha. I've never had a Radio Master, but yeah,
on that thing.
You definitely can. You definitely can do that, Mike. You're just going to be flying. You won't be flying with the DJI control link. You'll be flying with.
That's the one gotcha. You can't use it to fly through the DJI Air unit.
Right.
You have some other receiver.
That is my dilemma right now. I've got the Radio Master Gemini GX12, and I thought, well, okay, now I got my goggles 3, and I do have one receiver, and I think what I'm going to do is put on a domain, and so at least I can run my radio and goggles at the same time, and then it'll be that domain. That'll be the only thing I have, and then when I finally get my 04s, I'll switch everything over because I bought some receivers as well.
Hey, Joe, Scott, just bring all that stuff to South Florida, and we'll build it right there on the table. We'll put Joe to work.
I'll be honest. I hope I got it built before then. I mean, I literally would like to have it built for this meetup.
Hey,
but
so I tell you what, if Ken's Hogbower there, we could build it in the back of his truck. I can tell you that because he's got
bring it to the meetup.
So
Scott,
I don't have the parts. Oh, I'll tell you what I'm hoping. I'm hoping Drain Man is bringing his store, and I'm hoping Drain Man might have some of the parts.
Nice, Drain Man's coming.
They're gonna have a ton of stuff.
He's my FPV store. I think's the name of the company. Was that it?
Yeah. Yep.
So, speaking of store, I have this storage box thanks to Ken's inspiration. But I'll just say, when you're building, you tend to order a lot of extra parts. This entire thing. That's my GPS box. So I have lots of spare GPSs. Oh, by the way, here's my receivers box. I have a whole bunch of receivers in there. And actually, I don't have my XRs in that box
just tells me when you build, you break a lot of stuff.
No, when I build, the fucking flight controller fries and takes everything that's attached to it out with it.
Hey, well, I got some extra screws left over from my 3D printer. I'll bring them.
Yeah.
I've literally, if I
order, you have any left over from your new one, Johnny?
No.
I order a flight controller. I order a second one. I've had so damn many issues with that crap blowing on a heartbeat. I've literally had it working and all together go out, flip the switch, and the fucking ESC go out.
Hey, Ken, will you accept that challenge? If I buy some motors and a frame, we'll build a drone out there on the parking lot?
Yes.
That would be cool.
It's really not that hard.
I would like to see that.
I mean, if you know where the parts go, the parts and pieces go.
Well, hey, we
might
do it and live stream it. We'll sit out there in the parking lot and build it.
There you go.
Just make sure you bring your pipe wrench with you.
Joe, you're doing all the soldering.
That's fine. That's fine.
Johnny's doing.
I got a little Valador frame and extra.
I'm
hey,
not live streaming my solder.
We'll put a 03. We'll put a 03. 04 air unit, just a regular, the light in that Valador.
Ken, bring you channel locks.
Yeah, well,
they go everywhere I go.
I got a pipe. Dusty said analog. No.
I put that link in his FPV store.
Part of what I was waiting on, Ken, for years were these to come in.
Some standoff.
Oh yeah.
So the ones he ships the frame with are 28 millimeters. And because we're putting the 04, essentially because we're putting the 04 light in there, there'll be a lot of vertical space. So I actually want to put these shorter standoffs in, and then I'll reprint the TPU for the shorter height.
Warren put.
You might need those 28s, Ken.
But I wanted to color match. This is something as I've been building them, I try to color match the standoffs and screws to whatever I'm using for the TPU. That's just one of those RT.
And I'm talking about the Quad Mafia frame. You know, put some 28 millimeter standoffs on that, give you a little more height.
That's true.
You know, for the 04.
Well, Joe and Ken, how long will it take to get that frame updated? I mean, is it a big change or will it? I mean,
it's not a huge change. It needs to widen. It needs to widen out just a little bit. The standoffs, at least for the camera area, need to space out at least a quarter inch further apart than they are now.
Really, that's just the main issue. Is that I mean, it's really not. We haven't flown it. I haven't flown it yet. So, but
Neil Kamara, Neil FPV, he was doing some of the CAD work as far as the design of the frame. So I think he can pretty easily change that up and get it over to the.
He came out with a new battery mount.
But I will tell you one thing after my experience with the whole vibration thing. You don't want tall standoffs because the problem is the standoffs will.
Yeah, the taller they are, it can especially when you crash too. Out, so. You've got more height.
This right here, you know what this is? That's about 20 inches.
You mean 20 millimeters?
20 millimeters?
Yeah.
20 inches would be a really tall drone.
That looks like about 20 inches to me, Johnny.
But, you know, to me, 25 or something like that.
I think 25 is what came on the Quad Mafia frame, right, Ken?
I'm not 100%. I don't know.
No, maybe it was 22. It's
a lot of them are using 22, 23.
They're 1 inch, so I think that's 22. Is it 25?
25.
It is 25.
25.
To be exact, I think I don't have calipers, but I think it's like 15/16 of an inch, something like that. Let me measure it.
So, anyways. If you're building, you may change your standoff heights depending on how much room you have, what flight controllers. The nice part about the 04 is it's a couple of millimeters.
So let me tell you the problem with
they're 20.
Low stacks. Like
they're 20s.
So the gap right there, the strap will come down there. If you're not careful, you got to have some space between your strap and your flight controller. And because I got one that the strap was hitting the flight controller. It was messing up the gyro. And actually, it was South Florida drone meetup. When I was flying, the thing took off. And I'm like, what the devil, you know?
Yeah,
I had to kill it. It just was, it probably a crash or something like that. And it got where the strap was sitting on top of the gyro. And actually, of all people, Al Duran was the one who told me what the problem was.
So this little guy, which is my 2.5 inch, when I put the air unit in, I was going to have to redo the TPU in order to do it. But what I ended up doing instead of doing the TPU, there's some holes in the top of the frame. So you put 2 screws in where there was space in the frame to put the screws in. But I actually used the battery strap. Let me level this thing out. The battery strap is what's holding up the ass end of the air unit. Because the screws on that end of the air unit, there's no holes in the top plate. So I just freaking used the strap. But by doing that, by not having that TPU that they had, I helped solve some of the vibrations in this frame. Because as Scotty's saying, anything that hits that flight controller will cause the gyro to do stupid things. And so if you're getting vibrations, sometimes it's literally the air unit and the flight controller kind of coming together, depending on TPU and how you're mounting it and all those kinds of. Anyways, Johnny, I'll just say I've learned a hell of a lot in 5+ frames that I've built.
I guess so. Yeah, that's impressive though. Hey, Joe, Joe's not here. Ken, what we'll do?
I'm here.
Whoever wins the Super Bowl will get either red motors or some kind of green motors, and we'll make it a Super Bowl drone.
There you go.
I can't fly no Eagles drone.
Well, I mean, we'll have to.
I was fixed to say, man, I would, depending on what it is, I'd probably be crashing that sucker all the time.
I'm just saying, which one
definitely be a basher.
A basher. There you go.
Hey, the Super Bowl logo is already red and yellow.
The Eagle drone will fly,
I don't know if y'all noticed the Super Bowl logo, LIX. It's already red and yellow, so we know what that means.
See the fixing in.
It's got some green in there too, though, Joe.
It was there. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
So trivia
Well,
question:
your
where are the
colorblind.
footballs made?
Yeah,
Die, Eagles, die.
Where the football's made?
Man.
And
Where are the footballs made at? I know where they're made at.
Raleigh's, I don't know.
Wilson, but they're actually made in Ada, Ohio.
Oh, I thought
Literally every NFL football is
they're
made.
not
there.
made in China.
Nope.
Hey, John.
So, nah, I'm not gonna take it out. I showed this on one of the other shows, but this is why Ken is getting after me about building the drone, because I got him some nice blue motors and I've got the TPU and the nice TPU, all those. It's got the dual antenna, which won't work because it's the 04 light. So yeah, I'm not even sure that antenna will reach all the way back. But anyways, this is what I'm building for Ken. Little 2.5 inch, 8,000 kV.
Nice.
Should be a little screamer. And then
What's happening tomorrow, Joe?
Tomorrow?
Yeah. Oh, he's talking about the football game.
the other interesting thing that we found out,
Yeah.
because I tend to play with like different weird props that may or may not be
Compatible.
Screw around. So these are 8-bladed props on my 2.5 inch, and it's Ken and probably Scotty too, if he remembers. That makes this drone freaking whisper quiet. This thing with these blades on there, you can barely hear the thing.
It is.
I'll say the Avata 1 is the Avata 1's much quieter
quiet
now with the frame upgrade and 3.5 inch props. Man, it's way quiet now.
The downside is the more prop wars.
On what?
More blades, the more prop wars you're kind of going to get.
Yeah.
And you
Well,
can
not only that, there's
also
not very many people selling these, and you can't get them.
Yeah.
The other downside to it is you may have to do something with sort of your filters, because the props will have different resonations that in frequency bands that you may have to hit.
You may have to go into your tune a little bit, and adjust some dampeners a little bit.
The next thing, Johnny, on my to-do list, I've played with it some, but I got to go join the Patreon in order to get the one app that would actually make it easy for me to do, which is PID Toolbox. But kind of my next learning to do thing, and I've watched all the videos from Rosser and Rotor Riot and some of the others about using black box to tune it. I had to use the black box to figure out the noise issue on that one frame and see what was going on. So I kind of know how to mess around with it, but kind of my next thing is actually using black box and tuning those PIDs to sort of get them just right.
Let me ask you a question. So with this one on the LRS, after I cut the 2 cables or pull them out, no, you don't have to put me on screen, but basically, when I put the cable into my computer and I put it into the flight controller, the receiver went into Wi-Fi mode, and I was able to get into the Express LRS webpage. And I put my binding phrase in there, and I saved and I rebooted already without ever doing the battery.
Yeah.
Because when I put the battery in, it's not working because it's interfering with the UART. So whenever I cut those 2 wires, do you think it's going to automatically already be bound, or do you think I'm going to?
It will bind to the receiver.
Okay, so it's already
the receiver.
Because
so the receiver works when you get your USB cable in.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about earlier, because when he powers up with a battery, it's powering the air unit and then kind of overriding the fact that yellow and brown wire.
But you're right, Joe. Take those.
You're limiting the VTX to the flight controller from the air unit.
I think I've already bound it.
It's bound. It's bound. So as soon as you cut those 2 wires,
the only thing you're getting rid of the video part of it.
Right.
You just eliminate the video part.
What you're cutting off is the S-bus wire, which is the yellow, and the signal ground wire, which is the brown one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
But
And that way the air unit won't no longer send the video portion or to it, or
Right.
the receiver portion. I'm sorry.
But what I'm asking is, because normally when you bind it with the LRS, you put the battery on, if it was hooked up correctly, and you wait for Wi-Fi, you go to the Express LRS website and you put your binding phrase in and it's bound. However, I didn't do it that way. I did the cable directly into the flight controller and bound it. So what I'm wondering is, when I cut those two wires, is it already going to be bound?
You should still be bound, yeah, because you're just getting rid of the S-bus and the signal ground from the air unit, and your LRS is already bound.
Yeah, it's already written that part into it, right? It's already
There it is. The easiest
because when you power up from the flight controller to the computer, you're powering the ELRS. You're powering that up. You're just you're not powering the air unit.
4B5.
Okay. All right.
So, anyways, there's the cable. The way I always remember which two, it's the opposite end of the black and the red. Literally.
I'll tell you one mistake that's made all the time is when you're doing your VTX is RX goes to TX and TX goes to RX.
Yeah.
Right.
I checked that. That's correct.
I don't know. I had one.
Go to TX and TX and RX, but no, because I guess one's receiving, one's transmitting.
You know,
So
I had one flight
swap.
controller. They documented that sucker fucking backwards. The GPS
Really?
would not goddamn work. And so I went in and I went and flipped those two wires, and it worked. And I'm like, okay, so I guess their diagram online was trying to tell you RX to RX and TX to TX, which is what they showed in the freaking drawing. And I'm doing like everybody else. I'm flipping the two, and the damn thing doesn't work. So I'm telling you,
They mind fucked you on that
this crap that
Jedi
comes
mind
from
trick.
over there is crap for the most part. There's so much.
They get paid by the piece they send out.
Yeah, exactly. Including Speedy B, who sent me an ESC that had a dead ESC.
Damn.
As soon as I like plugged it, it was utterly dead.
Here's
From
my
the
daughter.
factory.
Y'all want to
Dead.
say hi?
Hi, Bree.
I've eaten lunch with her.
Bree, marry somebody that can build a drone. We got to take applications on them before.
I've gotten just stupid ticked off. So the other part, from a building perspective and the process of building, that I've kind of gotten into is, just as an example, most of the GPSs have plugs going into the actual GPS. So like I'll get the wires wired up for the GPS and plug it in, make sure it's kind of working, and then I will unplug the GPS. So as I do other things, maybe solder things on and off the board and all that kind of stuff, if some weird fucking power spike goes through the flight controller, it can't take the GPS out because it's not physically attached. And I tend to do that sometimes with the receiver. I may get the receiver all in working, works in beta flight, and then pop the red power wire off if I'm going to do some other stuff, just in case a surge goes through that dumb flight controller. Because I had one case, it literally popped every fucking device that was soldered to that flight controller.
Yeah.
It took out the receiver, it took out the GPS, it took out all the electronic, and I just shook my head. And
that's the part of building.
Maddie was like, I talked to Maddie, and Maddie's like, yeah, that's what causes some people to give up actually building, because of how sensitive and cheap that crap is, and how easy it is for it to just fail.
All right, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this. I've been on a little longer than I thought, but hey, it's a great morning, and thanks everybody for joining in. Got to get over to the cemetery and take care of something. But hey, tune in, of course, tomorrow morning is the actual drone and coffee. And then Wednesday night, we got the Fly for Fun show. We'll show some videos, and we actually have that guy, Aaron Moore from up there in Michigan, whose drone got run over by some guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to come on the show and tell us that story, which was pretty interesting. But hey, thanks everybody for joining this morning, and hey, everybody have a great day.
Go Chiefs. See y'all in the morning.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.